Welcome to
Where
Does
this
Bus
go?
Whoa! Oh!
Where's it gonna go?
Where is this? Oh, well, Jack, you don't know what today is.
Thursday?
It's the crosstown. Well, it might also be Friday or Wednesday or whatever wonderful day the people at MNN decide to put us on. But it's the Crosstown Bus-tacular.
What could that mean? A bus-tacular?
A crosstown bus-tacular.
Does that mean there's more than one bus?
Exactly. You see, today we're taking, what is it, all five? All four?
Let's count through it with the viewers.
All right. So right now we are on the, what is it, the M96?
The M96.
The M96.
Goes right across 96th Street.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the M79.
Oh, I think you're forgetting one.
Oh, egg on my face, I am.
Egg on the bus?
I hope not. The bus driver's going to clean it up.
You never want to upset a bus driver by making a mess on your bus.
That is rule, what is it, bus rule?
Fact 438.
Bus fact 438.
We hope you're keeping track of those at home, by the way. There will be a test at the end of the season. So, in between the M96
Yeah.
and the M79
Yeah.
is the M for Manhattan.
Oh, I know this. 86.
The M86, the former site of the only cross-town through park streetcar. It was like a little trolley that went across before the advent of buses.
Yeah, it's a good fact.
It was a good fact. We love the bus. I think we'll make that bus fact 322.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
Must be divisible by 86.
All good facts are. Let's be honest.
All good bus facts are divisible by the line on which the fact is about. And that's bus fact number 7.
So after that, we have the 72.
The 72.
And then the M66. Now, the interesting thing about this.
What's
same
interesting?
Route. Same route.
What? 2 buses on one route?
I know.
Who could that possibly serve?
Well, you see, just one goes over, and I think you can take it to the F train to go to Queens, and the M. Oh. Now, not only is this shot out of focus, but is also tunnel time.
Tunnel time?
One of the many tunnel times we'll have on this journey.
You mean we get more than one tunnel time?
Exactly. And I'd like to ask our viewers for every time a tunnel time comes on, just take a moment, reflect, and maybe write a poem.
A bus poem.
Bus poem.
We'd love to get your bus poems at wherethisbusgo@gmail.com.
Where does this bus go at gmail.com? As I was saying, the M66 goes over to the F train, the M72 goes up to the 72nd Street. What's on 72nd Street? Is that where the Q train is?
The Q train's on 72nd Street, but Ben, I do have to stop you there.
Stop me.
Well, why would anyone take a train when they could take a bus?
Because I don't are we at interborough bus transport?
Experienced Where Does This Bus Go viewers will remember that one time these two intrepid explorers took a trip all the way from Manhattan's to Jackson Heights, Queens, to visit such sites as El Coyote Mexican Bar and Grill.
We didn't show that. We showed El Perro.
We only visited El Perro, but we saw a great Mexican place you guys should check out.
El Coyote.
El Coyote. We continue our journey eastward on 96th Street.
Oh,
and pass
3 chefs.
3 guys.
Oh, is it 3 guys?
You know.
I assume 3 guys also has only 3 chefs.
I would think the 3 guys would all be chefs if they have a restaurant.
How many sites of 3 guys are there in Manhattan?
I believe now we witnessed one of the 2.
Oh, there's not 3?
No.
Does the third guy go between the restaurants?
He's a flex, They bring him in when they need him.
He's the closer.
He bounces, from place to place, comes in, can crank out an omelet in like 45 seconds flat.
I respect that.
My man can cook an egg on a car hood.
I mean, what kind of is the car running? Is it just really hot out?
It's a bus.
Oh,
and it's
that's
got this
impressive.
big bus engine.
That's very impressive.
My man can fry an egg on a bus.
I don't think I could ever cook an egg on a bus.
You hope not. And then if you make a mess, you'll be in real trouble with the driver.
I'll get kicked right off that bus.
You will. I don't know if this is a good time for us to talk about a little anecdote.
Tell me about the anecdote.
A little bus story time.
It's always a good time for a bus story on Where Does This Bus Go?
One time, a couple of kids who had nary taken 1 to 2 buses were making some coffee in a popular coffee chain, mixing it up,
I feel like we've told this story on Where Does This Bus Go?
About the bus driver who said,
Keep the kids, finish the story.
We're making our beverages, we're mixing and matching, and the bus driver looks over at us and says, I don't care what you do, long as you don't puke on my bus. And it's then that we learn to respect your local bus driver.
Respect your local bus.
Christmas trees in July.
I love the views of the Upper East Side.
It's relaxing.
Uptown views are relaxing.
The further south you'll get, the more stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the subtle curvature of the architecture. The fornication.
Some beautiful fornicate.
And every time you go through tunnel time and write a little snippet of your bus poem.
So now we're on the M70, no, the M86.
The M86.
We're going back from the east side to the west side.
And this zigging and zagging is meant to provide you with the most thorough picture of crosstown New York travel that you can find on television today.
Me and Jack here, we spent a good 4 weeks trying to plan this out. We had maps with the little string on them.
Connecting dots.
Trying to find the ultimate, most efficient route through the east-west.
Transverses. And these transverses they're legendary.
Do you have some transverse facts?
I do. I have a few transverse facts.
All right, read us a transverse fact.
One thing that you'll notice when transversing across Park is the sunken nature of the transverse.
They are sort of beneath the park.
Below the park, you keep all the frickin' frack of traffic below the...
Frickin' frack?
The frickin' frack, the hustle and bustle. The other day, I was doing a well-known crossword puzzle.
Oh, and frickin' frack came up.
No, you want to know what the answer to the hint
answer?
was?
Yeah.
Donnybrook.
I was also doing a very popular crossword puzzle yesterday. I was actually doing the USA Today crossword puzzle. Can I mention this on public access?
We are in no way sponsored by USA Today.
Look at these birds.
They're at home, roosting.
Jack, tell me about what is next to this bird space.
Next to this bird space is something you'll see far too often on the Upper East Side.
And Upper West Side, actually.
Retail space for rent or lease. That is the site of a former institution amongst young folks like Ben and I here. Somewhere you would drag your parents to excitedly to experience the latest drop of the newest game.
Oh, Jack, as an urban archaeologist.
Yes.
Please fill us in, us clueless dum-dums. What game are we buying?
Some sort of stop for games. A place to try out the newest console. A place to sell your old games for $2 a game. You bought them for $60.
Yeah, but now they're only worth $2.
That's what the man said. When I went in there last before they closed, everyone was wearing cowboy hats
Really?
to celebrate the release of a popular cowboy game.
Oh.
I bought the basketball game instead.
They were wearing cowboy hats?
Cowboy hats and bandanas.
Wow. I wish Where Did This Bus Go had company mandatory cowboy hats and bandanas.
Who's to say we don't?
Viewers at home, you may be allowed, if I may dare to say so, to picture us in cowboy hats and bandanas.
With a couple of primo mustaches. You're also free to don a cowboy hat of your own to ride these bus ponies along the transverse routes.
But please write some poetry.
Yes. One of the things you'll notice on the Upper East Side, one of my favorite things
Tell me about it.
all the dogs. You'll get a special bus point for every dog you notice in this ride.
Some backstory. Jack lives on the Upper East Side.
I do.
And I live on the Upper West Side.
We're a couple of cross-towners.
So that was a great inspiration for us to get this bustacular going.
The Crosstown Bustacular. We do love to show a little bit of greenery on Where Does This Bus Go?
Well, because, Jack, tell the viewers, what's this episode all about?
This episode, it's all about removing yourself from the hustle and bustle, the rigmarole of everyday bus travel, and taking a second to appreciate nature through the safety of the bus.
So you're telling me we're not just focusing on, like, 4 out of 300 buses because they just all go through the park?
Well, yes, of course. Central Park is the key to nature in New York.
Well, I guess it's central.
You know, it's central, it's natural. It was actually the inspiration of some guy who won a design contest.
You know, just some guy.
Just some guy. He was like an architect.
You know, anyone out there could just be some guy that wins a contest.
Exactly. You could be the next Frederick Law Olmsted or Calvert Vaux.
Calvert Vaux?
Yeah, Calvert Vaux is the second architect of Central Park.
Is he the guy who actually built it?
I would love for our audience to
research this?
Yes, and let us know what they think about Calvert Vaux.
Well, I like to think that the first guy just like did some kind of like little baby picture and just like send it in. And he was like, "This is my park." And the other guy was like, "All right, let's make a park."
I'm receiving some interesting information through
From
the
head
wire
office?
from the head Where Does This Bus Go office via telegram that Calvert Vaux was actually Frederick Law Olmsted's mentor.
Oh.
So don't forget Calvert Vaux.
Calvert.
Calvert O. What's that I spy?
Oh, out of the bus view and window.
We got a quick little glimpse of the Temple of Dandur.
But I also hope that the viewers appreciated their... Oh, Jack, what is this?
This, my friends, is the home of the 22nd Precinct. It is the police station for all of Central Park. Right there. Our boys in blue.
And again, I hope our viewers appreciate all the tunnel time we have.
Tunnel time means one thing.
Poetry.
Let's pause and let everyone write a poem.
We have a guest in the studio today, and I hope he's writing his poem.
He's click-clacking away writing a poem.
I'm just tapping the little keys here. That's what I'm doing. Getting that poem out for
Making
you.
bus poetry happen.
And now we're on the Upper West Side. Look at those majestic buildings.
That brick and... Oh, that's some nice fornication right there on the bottom. It's a good arch.
Now, our viewers may be wondering why we're saying that. Fornicate is Latin for arching.
And we need to appreciate this kind of architectural splendor on the small level, you know, above a window, so we can truly appreciate during our poetry time while we have tunnel time.
Because Aren't tunnels just big arches?
Tunnels are large arches.
Fat arches.
Big, fat old arches that get supported.
Isn't aqueduct just a tunnel, just a bridge for water?
It's above my pay grade, friend.
I only know how to talk about buses.
I do. I'm on a bus exclusive kick at the moment. Do you have any information for a tourist about the Upper West Side you could provide?
Well, one, I'd say go to Zabar's. Two, I'd say go to Ermac and Bolio's. And three, small businesses dying. It's the death of small town values. Yeah.
We need to bring small business back.
I second that EMAC and Bolio's review, honestly. That's a great recommendation.
I'm sorry, guest. Can you please wait until we bring you in for the guest section on the, what is it, the M72?
The M72.
The M72.
The M72 extra bus chair.
Well, because the M72 is really like the M66, right? And our friend that likes to take the M66 to the F train to get to Queens.
Essentially, for the people, it's 2 buses in one route. So we bring in an extra person to help with that extra workload.
Yeah. Because you really need to talk about 2 buses.
2 whole buses
2 whole
requires
buses.
at least 3 people.
Do they have an SBS? Because the
M79
M66 is not an SBS.
The M66 is not a select bus service.
For near viewers.
The interesting thing about the SBS, for me, is the method of payment. As we cross yet again on the M79.
M79. We're going back over to the east side.
I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of spectacular buses.
You see, here's the rear view of the 22nd precinct, I believe.
Of course, the 22nd precinct. No. Sure. Tunnel time.
Tunnel time. Yes? Do you think this could be... Jack, how many visitor centers are there in Central Park?
There are 5 visitor centers in Central Park.
What?
5 visitor centers. Do you want to know where those are?
Not really, but tell me. Can you tell me?
I can tell you their names.
That's just as good as to where they are.
The Charles A. Dana Discovery Center on the Harlem Mere. You want to know what the Harlem Mere is?
Is it some kind of schmear?
It's a big pond.
Oh.
Then there's Belvedere Castle. What is the defining feature of... Oh, tunnel time.
Tunnel time.
There we go.
The only thing I know about Belvedere Castle is that it's by Turtle Pond.
Turtle Pond. Turtle Pond and Shakespeare's Garden.
Shakespeare's Garden.
At Belvedere Castle.
Oh.
Then, of course, there's the dairy.
Tell me about the dairy.
The dairy was the first restaurant in Central Park. Completed in the late 1800s, it was converted from building to restaurant due to political pressure to start making some money in the park.
What?
Yeah. True
Well-
story.
What did they serve? Do you have that information?
I don't have a menu.
Do they have like franks and beans for a quarter?
I'm thinking something along those lines. All I know is that political legislature William Tweed demanded it be used as a restaurant.
Good old William Tweed.
Was it good? If it had franks and beans, it was.
In my book. Upper East Side spots I would recommend our viewers as Jimbo's Hamburger Place.
Jimbo's Burger Joint. You know what you can catch there?
What can you catch there?
Conversation between a couple of diplomats. Jimbo's is located in close proximity to the United Nations.
Can you take the M66 over there?
You can take the M66 all the way over there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a bit of a walk, but it's a nice walk.
It is a nice walk. It's a peaceful walk.
We advocate for 2 things here at Where Does This Bus Go?
What do we advocate for, Jack?
Walking and bus going.
The thinking man's travel.
If anyone can recount one of our older episodes, we talked about how much scaffolding there was in New York.
There was enough from what, Earth to the moon?
I believe so, and back. You might find James Bond on the moon.
Not in 20 current year. James Bond's all about being serious nowadays.
No more fun James Bond on the moon?
No more fun James Bond about the moon.
Do you think James Bond might take a bus? Oh, it's our bus.
Oh, it's the M79. It's the opposite way bus.
Much like two yachts passing in the distance, we do recommend giving the other bus a good wave.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the bus drivers will honk at each other as a sign of camaraderie.
Exactly. To acknowledge their togetherness. Although during this journey we missed out on the excitement of a bus driver switch.
We did. This is actually the bus I think I take to yours.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's the bus I took here today.
Oh, you did? You took this bus today?
I took the M79.
How was it?
It was lovely. There were seats abound.
Oh, look at those beautiful bay windows up there.
That is a lovely brick building. Old school New York.
That's what's so great about Uptown. So many old buildings. Such great old souls.
None of these new giant rectangular buildings.
Don't build my building out of glass. Build it out of rock,
Strong stone.
hay,
Wheat.
chaff.
Barley.
Our special guest, he's coming in.
Howdy.
Oh, no.
Our guest commentator.
Welcome, Matt Petty.
Is that my name?
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you speak up?
Hello, friends.
That's perfect.
Tell the people about your favorite bus, Matt.
Well, I see you're on the M79 now.
Or 72, M72. We're
Oh.
going. Well, you see, the M72 has the same route as the M66, and I know you take the M66 a lot.
I
to
do.
come.
I am but a 72 novice, you see. The 62, while a faithful bus, likes to play games on you sometimes.
The 66 plays games?
It does. It plays games. So you see, I'm a Queens-bound man, and being a Queens-bound man, when you take the M66, you got to wait on one side of the park for far too long than anyone wants to wait in these winter months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those who are just a little too nippy outside during this time of year, I recommend taking the M5, getting off at 57th Street and going all the way up to the Upper West Side that way. Very scenic route, very nice. It doesn't have the tunnel time that you do, so...
We
So I'm
appreciate it
very
on this crosstown
fond-
bustacular, but like, I don't need tunnel time. Do you need tunnel time?
I recommend a solid dose of tunnel time at least once a week for your average bus goer.
Uh-huh.
Without it, you can go stir crazy, bus stir crazy.
Well, there are a lot of buses that do go through tunnels, like the fantastic, formerly mentioned Q32. Actually, that goes under a bridge.
Over a bridge.
No, it's on the bottom layer.
It is both over one bridge while simultaneously being under another.
If you're in the lower level of a bridge,
Isn't that
does
just a tunnel?
constitute a tunnel, in my opinion, I think.
I would call that a tunnel because you're under.
I'm not a civil engineer,
Uh-huh.
but I think that's a tunnel.
No, Jack, as someone who argued,
I think you are both on a bridge,
yes.
under a bridge,
Uh-huh.
and I have been swayed and agree that it can also constitute a tunnel. Some sort of suspended tunnel, like the tube that shoots salmon from point A to point B. You know the salmon tube.
No. Is that like the Salmon Bridge?
It is, but the bridge
Okay.
is a tube.
Can't they already flow upstream?
Well, that's what I thought.
No, this is to take them from reservoir to stream.
Oh, okay.
When the salmon get caught in the reservoir,
I see.
the tube, which is also a bridge because it's suspended. Mm-hmm. So you see, we're all just really salmon in a tube. The tube is the bus.
Businessman on a bus or salmon in a tube? Who's...
Both go better with a schmear.
Oh, yeah?
You know, a schmear and salmon and some locks.
I like this.
The salmon is the locks.
It's a good angle you guys got here.
Thanks. This is bus view. This is our patented bus view.
Yeah, nice parkside profile action.
Well,
It's
this is
very
the M72 because you see the 66 and the 72 go through the same route as previously mentioned.
The 66th Street transverse.
So the 72 has two or three? Two? Three? Parkside stops.
It does. Oh, yes. It must stop at 71st, 69, and then 66.
Yeah. Before it goes through the transfer.
This is really opening up all the possibilities for transportation now.
Well, no, it's only bus.
Ah.
So as long as the transportation method is bus, then yes, it is opening it up. Because you couldn't do this on a subway.
There's no view on a subway. There's no nuance. Imagine in the summertime, these trees filled with leaves, the park filled with merry-goers.
Gay children.
You know, running about. Sheep's Meadow.
Oh, as we turn into the park, I would like to remind everyone to write their poems for the upcoming Tumble Time.
Complete their poems.
Complete their poems. Matthew.
I wrote my poem.
You've written your poem?
Yeah, the muse hit me somewhere on the M66. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's where we're at right now, yeah.
Would you like to read your poem in anticipation of the upcoming Tunnel Time?
I chose prose, so I hope that appreciators of the style can relate.
As the Tunnel Time approaches.
As tunnel
please
time
read.
approaches, we reflect on the M66. Cul-de-sac. Flowing through a sea of asphalt. Please make seats available for disabled passengers. Like the two very overweight women covered head to toe in rhinestone-spattered stretch spandex, and the future leaders of tomorrow traversing a beauty made only by man. Call each other godlike and kings and gladiators of the Metropolitan Transit Authority, while the mighty reincarnation of Ralph Cramden turns the helm of the articulated vessel of the new old and protects what is sacred. Thank you.
That really captures the spirit of the M66, I believe.
I wish to take a bus forever now.
And as our Crosstown Bustacular comes to a close, I'm Ben Stein.
And I'm Jack Stig.
And I guess this is the perfect moment to introduce our mystery guest.
Mystery guest?
Mystery guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Matt Patty.
Matt Patty,
Matt
welcome.
Patty.
Thank you for appearing on Where's This Bus Go?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was
No problem.
It's
Poetry
really
was great.
educational experience.
Thanks.
We'll
Thanks.
ride another bus soon.
Yep. All right.